it, but maybe Tex has something specific planned. He might know some specific stuff that works really well with the Plague Champion.
I mean, the play champion himself bleeds orc models really well with that damage over time. Like even in covers, if that damage over time is going, shooter boys will drop pretty well.
You know, I should take that back a little bit because although the Plague Champion is not considered a strong hero overall, I think he is considered strong against orcs.
Yeah,
And
his
Chaos
ability
in
to
general,
bleed.
I think Chaos in general is considered pretty strong against orcs.
And if you wanted to, this is actually even a pretty cool map for grenade launchers, since you have all these walls and such here as well. But it depends on whether we see a more ranged or melee-oriented build as we go into this game. Double shooters.
Got at least one of those heretics as just regular melee, so you can do the touch of Nurgle stuff. That is a powerful global.
Yeah, that alone can win you engagements with Touch and Nurgle on heretics. It's funny how heretics are such kind of like a weird niche squad at times, but like pretty much with all of the Chaos Globals, they become a very powerful unit. Either with a Sorcerer, Teleport, Touch and Nurgle, even a lot of the other supporting abilities, and of course their ability to worship as well. They're just a really cool, well-implemented unit.
I like some of the banter we've got between them. I see you've had some practice. I like that. That really goes along with like what you were saying before, like if not like a mentor relationship, then like
either way, just
old rivals who've known each other for a long time.
Oh man!
Like,
So
what a crucial special attack! I think at least one of those Chaos Space Marine models will go down, but the Sluggers themselves in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they actually taken some pretty reasonable losses there, even despite getting that stun grenade off.
Tex is saying R because I don't think he meant to worship. I think he meant to Doom Blast.
Yeah.
And if he Doom Blasted, I think he possibly could have taken out that Slugger Boy squad.
But man, unfortunately, the Slugger Boys didn't even take out one of those Space Marine models, and now they're just going to be healing back up to full health under that Nurgle worship.
I mean, depends how much longer they can stay out on the field. They're only at half health. They might have to retreat.
I mean, with the damage, yeah. Even so, they're sitting in green cover though against unupgraded shooters. They might be able to last it down. Yeah, there goes finally one model.
Let's go down. Yeah. I mean, it's a risky call, but I guess he's just really trying to stay out on the field. That squad of heretics, I think, needs to go. Really needs to go. He's going to lose the entire squad. Wow, one model. So close calls from these players right now.
Yeah, the only problem with this looks like it went in favor of Tex, but honestly, he didn't have any other squads. Literally everything he had was committed to that fight, so he wasn't doing any real capping on the back line.
You're right. He really doesn't have much map control, but I mean, on the positive side of things, neither does Toilailee.
Right, I mean, he's at least keeping it neutral. He did bleed quite a few Heretic models and a Space Marine model. He's going to get like a cap or two, but as it stands, that wasn't as critical as it may have appeared initially. Storm Boy's coming out here now along with, is that intentional? A third squad of Heretics now?
It's possible. Tex has often done triple heretics with the sorcerer, and one of the reasons to do this is to just have extra squads for map control. You're getting a cheap squad that you can just run around the map and capture points. I think it generally works the least effectively with the Plague Champion. The triple heretic build is better overall with both the sorcerer and the Chaos Lord, though.
Sure, certainly.
But those first few minutes actually pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was kind of a long, drawn-out battle there in the northeast corner.
We've been watching a lot of games where someone is playing passively, playing like Eldar, running around, not trying to engage, but they just went right in it right there, like in those first early engagements.
Oh, so we got some sneaky Slugger boys looking for trouble. Oh, but they actually got routed there for a moment because he spotted the aspiring champion heretics, and now Tex sees them coming. Both of those heretics upgraded.
In not such a great position. All right.
Yeah, he'll be able to cover his retreat.
Or will he? Yes, he will. But he's getting pushed back.
Yeah, Havoc's actually in a good position now that the Storm Boys have used their jump. I don't think they get... Well, they have enough energy for another jump here in a moment.
We're going to see a stunt bomb.
Long-range stun bomb. Look at the arm on that commando knob.
Look at that. he played football in high school.
But he's still not engaging it in melee, so he's going to have to retreat as soon as it gets set back up.
Well, he finally sets it up. Storm Boys jump in. Maybe the Slugger Boys can follow it. No, instead he's just going to take on the Heretics with the Storm Boys. Hopefully not bleed too many models. Storm Boys are also sometimes affectionately called Bleed Boys.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm curious to see if Toilailee is going to get himself a Pain Boy to get some healing on the field, because those Storm Boys are going to have a hard time really doing much against two squads of upgraded Chaos Heretics.
It's very, very scary for them to jump into Heretics. We have two squads of Heretics with aspiring champions. One that does not have an aspiring champion and only has 2 models and is just worshipping in base.
Yeah, keeping everything nice and healthy. Victory points are pretty even up. Tex going with an aggressive stance on that Havoc, way up in the front. Not even going to let Toilailee out onto the field without taking a face full of Havoc fire.
Pretty much just straight up covering that entrance. So he either has to go like the long way around, or he's got to commit his Storm Boys to do something about that Havoc. Well, he also has a Commando mount. Let's not forget that. He can infiltrate, throw a stun bomb. So he's actually got a lot of options, but it's still a pretty good position for a setup team.
Man, we're seeing these Heretics, even with the Storm Boys supporting fire there from the big shooters, like, still taking tons of damage from that aspiring champion Heretic squad.
Yeah, I mean, these Storm Boys, they're struggling a little bit because they're just jumping into Heretics. And, I mean, even if and when those Heretics get forced off, they just... I mean, they're content to bleed models, whereas the Storm Boys not quite so much. If not because of the requisition to pay to reinforce, the power. It's 35 requisition and 4 power to reinforce the Storm Boys.
Yeah, it's not a lot on its own, but after you lose a few models, that power starts stacking up, and that's
the power. Yeah, that's the big.
That's
thing,
a few
really.
upgrades elsewhere that you may not have been able to afford. It's funny that no one's had the time or effort to capture that way out power node way on the west side of the map.
That power node often gets neglected, I think, a lot of times in this matchup.
Well, that's kind of the double-edged sword of it, though, is that if you have the time to take that and pop a node on it, it's normally free power for the majority of the match.
Yeah, and a lot of players, like, they won't even go there, so sometimes... Oh, but there's a touch of... Stop talking about power, let's talk about touch of Nurgle.
No, that was a dead squad before touching Nurgle.
Squad of Slugger Boys. Close call. All right, he's not going to get it. Very, very close call.
But he is upgraded with the Bile Spewer, and if the Orcs don't move in to stop him, that's going to be a down power farm.
Are we going to see Tex take this? Is it going to be Tex in the finals? I actually feel like it's been a while since we've seen that from Tex.
Yeah, Tex normally, well, I mean, not even due to lack of play either, just because normally he's had to bail out before a tournament has been able to finish.
I mean, if I actually look at all the winners of the past monthly Rumble tournaments, not a single one of them is Tex, and a lot of them I don't think he was in the finals either.
Although, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take note that we're kind of at that same turning point that we saw early on with Big Mathis, where in Tier 1 he was struggling, but he's well ahead into Tier 2 now, and an Orc truck could easily turn this around, considering that Tex has invested in both a Havoc and a heavy bolter turret as well. So as soon as he gets that truck, Toilailee will probably just be able to roll right up on those squads and remove them from the map.
And, I mean, even the third squad of Heretics, even though it's cheap, it's another squad to reinforce, although it looks like one of the squads of Heretics he's keeping at 2 models and just worshipping. And he did get an upgrade on his Plague Champion as well.
Yeah, he really needed to get the full Gen Bash there, I think, to take advantage of that situation. This forward heavy bolter turret might end up not being much of a payoff. Especially with this Def Dread coming on the field. He didn't decide to go for the Orc truck, he's instead getting the quick Def Dread.
Tex definitely spent more in Tier 1 than Toilailee did. Without even adding up all the numbers, he definitely spent more.
He's going to have to be very careful with these Storm Boys. They got both the heavy bolter turret and the second squad of Heretics in their retreat path.
The Heretics, though, they could be in trouble, but Storm Boys just not so good at killing on retreat. And Storm Boys actually managing to... Oh, they did lose 1 model, but they also have their Nom.
Oh, they actually retreated there. I guess there wasn't much else the rest of the Orc army was going to do, but...
Alright, if this Def Dread can come out fast enough, not get caught too much on its retreating units, I think it should at the very least try to take out this heavy bolter turret.
Oh man, I love Death Dreads. They're so awkward looking.
It's this big stompy tin can.
Pretty much.
To at least take out the heavy bolter turret. Going for the generators could be risky. He doesn't know exactly where Tex is in tech.
Oh man, the Plague Champion actually trying to melee slow it down a little bit.
Might be smart and good and intuitive enough to know that he has a lead, but it's always hard to tell just like how much exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how long any of those power nodes were up.
Like, I've actually heard, especially players like Tex, he'll say, like, oh, I see this, this, and this, so I know that I have, like, roughly this much of a lead in tech. And I'm like, how can you even think this? Like, amazing. Like, I wouldn't think that. Like, my opponent would just beat me to tier 2, and I'd be like, crap.
Oh, darn. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you want to do is try to gauge how far ahead into tier 2 you are, because that can influence your purchase. I mean, as solid as the Def Dread is here, maybe a truck and a Sluganob would have been a better choice early on, or, you know, he could have had that out earlier and probably gotten in on the generators. But either way, that Def Dread still has plenty of time where there's not a lot it can do about it. Mark of Corn is up, which has the auto cannon, but still not a hard vehicle counter for what is not the strongest of walkers, but still pretty beefy if all that's out is a light vehicle counter.
Yeah, despite the autocannon actually doing about as much DPS as the las cannon is just way better against vehicles because of that snare. I've just seen a lot of situations where vehicles that survive against an autocannon would have died against a las cannon. Not
yeah, definitely.
Game,
and yeah, totally. The surprise, that burst damage is actually really useful too. But Def Dread a little beat up, gonna have to fall back until some Slugger Boys get out here to give it a quick patch job. Plague Champion also upgraded, now going for that big beefy melee build, the Armor of Pestilence and that Plague Fist, giving him the big heavy melee that can deal with everything and making him, I believe, immune to knockdown as well, right?
Yeah, immune to weapon knockback at least. So, usually people get that autocannon. Like, when you see an autocannon in response to a vehicle, it usually means that the player knows that they need to get some kind of anti-vehicle. They pretty much need to get it on the Havoc, but they're not ready to have their Havoc be useless against infantry. They still want their Havoc to do something against infantry.
Yeah, the autocannon, I mean, it's so good against orcs. And one of the best things about the autocannon, too, is that And I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's probably just the way the weapon works. But if you walk into its firing arc even a bit, it's going to get its full volley off. So even if you just happen to slightly detect the thing.
Oh.
All right, so Stormboy's jumping in.
Jump in.
They're going to spot that turret.
Right now. Just perfect timing for that turret to finish. We even see the slaughter ability on the Chaos Space Marines. Something went down, though. A squad
yeah, the Heretics went down on the far side. Looks like he's going to not push in on this. He had the option to. He could have tried to push that Def Dread in on the turret, which I think wouldn't have been terrible. But now with the Heretics off the field, we see the Sluggers can move in unhindered on the far side.
And they might just try to go behind.
I feel like they have to go behind that. Oh, no, that's... Why is he doing that? Did he not realize that was there?
But the good thing for that is it clears the way for the Def Dread. And then the Def Dread can come and just flame down the Heavy Bolter turret. And I think that's what the Def Dread should do. I think the Def Dread should now move in a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, he's playing a bit reserved, oddly, right now.
On Toilailee's side, he might just not really know, like, maybe if Tex has, like, any additional anti-vehicle coming.
Yeah, I mean, Plague Marines along with that Power Fist could be a quick end for the Def Dread, so I guess he really does have to play it a bit reserved. But as it stands, again, you have to understand, like, you have to be thinking about that. How much have I been bleeding my enemy? What are the odds that he has the resources to buy a whole nother squad right now? Plague Champion just has to get the heck out of there. He was thinking about tangling with that Def Dread a little bit, but again, he's going to lose another turret right here.
Yep.
Turret play is very powerful on this map since it is such kind of a choke-oriented map, but...
So he did do that very cautiously. He actually came to the side with the Def Dread, and I think he wanted to reduce the possibility that he was like walking into the firing arc of the autocannon by kind of going off to the side instead of charging the turret head-on. Still caught a little bit of the autocannon fire, but kept his Def Dread alive and then just stomped out of there really quickly.
Now he's moving that Death Dread in. It's pretty beat up. He's going to have to be careful. The sluggers are close enough. Okay, yeah, he is going to pull those over to fix it up. And just wanted to deter those heretics from getting any free caps in right there. Plague Marines are finally coming onto the field. It looked like Toilailee was considering a truck there for a moment, but decided against it ultimately.
And after an early lead from Tex, this is now looking like a pretty even game.
Stormboys
jumping in again, but they are able to jump in with the stun from the knob, and that actually, with all the support they have, that's actually enough to force off the heretics.
Yeah, those heretics couldn't stick around there long, and Toilailee being real
He's
aggressive right now.
Ever so slowly.
Yeah, that pestilence armor, does that actually lower his speed? I think. Yes, it does.
Let's see. Yeah, I believe it does actually.
And now the Death Dread in a bit of trouble right now, taking some fire. A couple swings from that fist could be the end of it.
Might go down. Close
but
call.
But he's gonna trade it.
Out of range of the missiles. He's gonna lose the Plague Champion.
Oh yeah, that Stormboy knob.
I mean, I just saw where that Plague Champion was.
Or no, it was the Sluggerboy knob. Actually got the killing swipe on that. That guy does huge damage with that little chopper there. He's a big knob with a little knife. And Death Dread's going to hang back with the Slugger Boys, get a little patch up there. 251 to 276. The VP's staying pretty much neck and neck this whole game so far. Weird Boy coming onto the field. Love seeing some good weirdo play.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, Tex did start out with that early lead. So much so that I was actually almost starting to call it in favor of him. And right now it looks like any call I made might have been premature because Toilailee evened it out, and now I'd say he's even starting to take the advantage back. Especially with taking out that hero, now putting a Weird Boy out on the field. I mean, the Weird Boy should be able to just continuously disrupt the Plague Marines so that they can't really take out the Death Dread.
Well, between the Plague Marines, the Havoc, and the Chaos Space Marines, like, all of those are really excellent targets for the Weird Boy. And it's the Orcs are hitting their melee kind of critical mass here. They got both their knobs out now, so the Heretics are a lot less able to deal with those threats. They don't scale.
I don't know if you see these Corn Chaos Space Marines, though, actually going for a flank on the Weird Boy.
I did not see that.
The Weird Boy could potentially be in trouble, but we've got the Storm Boys to counter-initiate. The Chaos Space Marines still going for the Weird Boy.
The Weird Boy finally are so fast.
They might take out the Weird Boy. They might do it. They do it.
Oh no, he's out of control.
That
nice
was
flank.
brilliant, and I saw it coming like a mile away, actually. I saw him flanking around with the Chaos Space Marines. He actually went the long way, and I figured, what would he want Corn Chaos Space Marines for? And, I mean, to be honest, the main answer that I actually know is to take out a unit like the Weird Boy.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even know that Weird Boy was there, but man, he got some payoff from it.
And so we're actually seeing some very good use of Corn Chaos Space Marines, and they are like kind of like a much maligned unit, and they can be good. And,
I mean, they're very quick, and they do solid retreat damage. Even with those Melta pistols, actually, they do pretty good damage.
Compositionally hard to find a place for them in the Chaos Army, especially when the upgrade is mutually exclusive with the Tzeentch upgrade.
Right, exactly.
But if you actually do get them, they kind of are like heavy armor Banshees. They're fast. They're faster than regular melee units, most melee units. So they're actually very good at chasing. Not quite as good at Banshees, but probably better than just about anything else aside from Banshees.
Oh, check your Storm Boys. Oh man, he was bleeding some Storm Boys there.
Bleeding some Storm Boys.
I guess that's kind of just silly to say. Yeah, the Plague Champ went down. Commando Knob's back up. Lots of fire getting exchanged in the center. Toilailee was really... What'd you say?
Have you seen these? The Chosen Plague Marines?
Yeah, these are a squad that aren't commonly seen, but they are pretty nasty in melee. These Chosen Plague Marines. Oh, they're so gross looking. They're big pestilence bellies.
That was such a huge play, taking out the Weird Boy like that. I mean, that Weird Boy didn't even get to do much.
No, that was pretty much 440 just down the drain. Like that was.
I mean, I didn't even see if he also had any upgrades on that Weird Boy.
I mean, it's possible. You normally get one pretty much right out of the gate, but as it stands now, Toilailee was also sitting around inside of that Havoc firing arc for a bit too long there as well. Oh man, he's sending in this injured Death Dread. I'm not sure what his plan with this push is, but it's gonna be tight. He needs to go all in, I guess, on this push.
He's gonna tie up. He's tying up all the anti-vehicles. So right now the Death Dread. I think the Death Dread is going to be fine, to be honest.
Even if the Plague Marines get off a single hit, or I think even the Heretics Aspiring Champion might be able to finish that.
They're both like going in really, really hard. I think the Plague Marines might go down. He was going too hard to try to get that last hit. He might lose the Plague Marines. Close call. Does lose the Plague Marines.
Wow.
Death Dread is at 4 hit points. Finally
final
down.
shot from that plasma pistol.
And wow, so a lot of things lost on both sides. Commando Knob went down.
I don't even know. This is madness right now.
This is shaping up to be one of the best games so far. Wow, can they finish off? They did. I can't believe they finished off like the Sluggers with their ranged fire. Those plasma pistols are beefy.
Yeah, I mean, they do some serious damage. Didn't even manage to take out that Shrine of Nurgle, unfortunately. And Tex was just managed to beat...
There are 3 of those plasma pistols as well.
Yeah. But Toilailee, I think, just went a little too hard. I'm not sure he could have... I'm not sure if he had the requisition to do a call to boys there, but I feel like a call to boys during that engagement could have really swung it in his favor.
Yeah. You know, with the combination of the Khorne Chaos Space Marines as well as the Chosen Plague Marines, he might even just be able to charge in onto the Shooter Boys.
No, I think with all of the melee that the Plague Champion has right now, combined with the fact that he can pop touch and Nurgle if he really wants to.
But if they get stunned by Storm Boys, that is a bit of a problem for them. However, it looks like instead, I think the Storm Boys were stunned because the Plague Champion is in here as well.
Yeah, no, the Plague Champ's in there. He dropped the
He did the Pestilence Strike.
Yeah. That big nasty cloud there in the center, stunning everything.
Yeah, I missed the Plague Champion in there, but yeah. Plague Champion is level 6.
Yeah,
Khorne Chaos Space Marines are level 4.
Those Khorne Space Marines have really been almost the hero unit so far. Like, they've been doing a lot of damage. But yeah, he's got Khorne Space Marines, he's got the Chosen Plague Marines, he has the Plague Fist, bringing out a Dreadnought as well, and then the Havocs as supporting fire if he chooses to pull anything into that.
VPs are pretty even, but Tex about to threaten a triple cap and getting a Dreadnought when Toilailee doesn't have a whole lot of stuff left, and he especially doesn't have much anti-vehicle. Both players also staying in Tier 2, and I have a feeling we're not even going to see Tier 3 in this game.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen right now. Toilailee, I don't know. With only shooters and a squad of Storm Boys on the field, things are looking pretty bad.
A zombie Storm Boy jump?
Yeah, well they can Bomber Boy, can't they?
Does everything. I don't know if they can.
Oh,
maybe.
because they don't have the knob.
It might cost red.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Or yeah, they might not. I have no idea. We would really have to like try that out. But Toilailee looks like he's conceding it. And that means Tex is going to take it.
2-0 for Tex.
Wow, 2-0 for Tex.
That was an interesting match.
And it was actually, in my opinion, an upset, definitely. I mean, Toilailee definitely has the better history for like the past year. It certainly didn't count Tex out, but...
And even in the beginning of that game, it was looking pretty solid.
So that means that I believe we are going to have a finals. Let's actually check on the other side, see if... Holy Hammer did indeed win his match.
Pulling up the brackets now, taking a look, and we've got 1-1 actually, as far as the brackets are concerned. Let's